Will Bitcoin go back up? I timed the top, all right? On the dot. I have my receipts, bro. October 6th, I was like, hey, Bitcoin right now looks like the 2021 top. I was like, hey, at this moment, I think it's going to go lower. What was it, 122k? We're gonna go through 2 or 3 things to make it very simple that I see as to why Bitcoin actually might potentially go back up, but it's not what you think. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm gonna show you the stablecoin dominance chart. All right, so this is the stablecoin dominance chart. Make it super simple. Right now we're on the weekly. Okay, so pretty much what this chart shows you is the dominance of USDT plus USDC. So just the top two stablecoins, how much market share do they have as of right now? So a lot of people look at the dominance of Bitcoin to see if it's going up or down. That does kind of help you, but really it doesn't, because let's say that the Bitcoin dominance goes down. Let me show you something. Walking with me here. So this is the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? Usually when it comes down, people are like, oh, it's alt season and stuff like that. But also when it comes down, it could also mean it's exit season. You know, it's either or, right? And how you kind of are able to tell is by looking at the alts, right? And also looking at this chart right here, the stablecoin dominance. So that's what we're gonna look at the moment. So we have this stablecoin dominance chart on the left, and we have Bitcoin on the right. Okay, super easy, super simple. Check this out. Anytime that the stablecoins have gone up to this red line right here, which actually is also the 100 MA, I believe. Anytime it hits there, that's basically the bottom. That's like a bottom. So look, as of right here, look, right here. Now look on the right side. Look on the right side with me, okay? Look on the right side. Right when it hits right here on the left side, look on the right side, what happens? Right? Would we not say it? Look on the right side again. Would we not say that this is a bottom? And then as it comes up and it tops right here on the left side, look on the left side. Right here as it tops, now look on the right side. Would we not say that that's a top? Right? So on and so forth. All the way up here on the left. Now look on the left side again. I know this is a bit confusing. But if you look on the left side, if you look at the stable coins, right here where we topped, on the right side, that's where we bottomed. Right? So on and so on. And the thing is, now we've made a 1, 2, 3. We made 3 points here. Right? So now we've considered this an actual trend. It's respecting this trend line. All right? So 1, 2, 3 times it's hit that. Just like in the previous years. Look, I wouldn't really count this right here. I would count these 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. The fourth one is where we kind of got cooked. Let me show you what happened in the fourth one. All right? So I'll tell you when it's on the when it's hit resistance on the left side. So you just look on the right side, okay? So just look on the right side. So right here it hit resistance, so that should be the bottom. Right here it hit resistance, so that should be the bottom. And right here it hit resistance, so that should be a. When I say the bottom, I don't mean the complete bottom. I just mean a bottom, so the local bottom or whatever. It hit resistance, and then right here it passed through it. Let me zoom in. Right here it passed through it. What happened? Complete dump, right? I do want to say, none of this is financial advice. This is only what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at, what I've already done, really, but what I'm looking at, and I'm just sharing. It's just, you know, difference of opinions, that's all, okay? You might have a different opinion than me, but as of right now, I'm right, you know, I am right. It's gone down. I'm waiting for it to hit 88k. Right now it's at 91. But here's where this is what I'm trying to say. The point is, on stable coins, look where we're at right now. We're about to hit that line. If I turn the wicks back on, you'll see that, boom, we've actually already touched it. But, so, since we've touched it, we could now reverse back, you know, downwards here, which would mean that on Bitcoin, we would see some upside, right? Not, I wouldn't say all the way up. Maybe we break and we continue a bull structure, but that's so unlikely in my opinion. I'm being so honest. I would love that, but I'm being honest. Really, realistically, if we pump around right here, we would come around right here, 97k, and then if we hit that 100k, but 100k is a big resistance. We've had that 100k resistance for a long time. I don't want to make this video too long. Here's the thing also. We still have 5 days for the week to close, okay? Historically, the past few times, we've had a week touch it, and then there's a week where it starts to going down. A week to touch it, a week to go down. A week to touch it, a week to go down. So a week to touch it, I would say that maybe right now what we're seeing, where it's kind of, you know, went to 89k and now it's going back up a little bit. Maybe that's just the relief pump before the relief pump. You know what I mean? So yes, it could reverse this and go down, but I doubt that would happen. I would say that maybe most likely we come all the way up there, kind of close around there, and then the next week is when we get some type of relief pump on next week. Here's the second reason why we might get a pump soon. little relief pump soon is if you go on the daily. If you go on the daily, we're so cooked. I'll make a separate video as to why I think we're completely cooked in terms of mid-term, not short-term. Short-term, I think we're good. Mid-term, I think we're cooked. Long-term Bitcoin, I think we're still good, depending on how bad the mid-term is, honestly. Anyways, here's another thing, right? So we've chopped around right here, okay? Then we come down and then we chopped around right here. This is like chop zones. This is chop zone, right? And then these are, you know, there's no chopping. It just goes because there's not really much support resistance levels, not much volume, there's not much buy sell orders. Okay, that's better, that looks better. So let's just call these are the chop zones, and then all the other zones are just kind of straight, right? So, you know, the issue here is that Bitcoin, right, it kind of, you know, chopped here and then it just went straight down. It didn't really, usually what it does is that it'll chop in the chop zone, so it'll come down and then chop here again a little bit and then come down, right? But it didn't. It kind of did right here. See, it came all the way down, it tested that, came up, and then it just broke right through it. Like, it broke right through it, okay? So now we're coming down here. We did it, and we're supposed to kind of chop here. And again, look. It looks like it just broke right through it. Like, it does not care. So, for me, it's, hey, either if it's this week, then this week prints all the way back up and we print above, and then we chop here, right? And that's, you know, that's kind of the relief rally. That's like a good 10%-ish or whatever. But it really looks like it might just go down and then it'll bounce here and then try to come back up. Maybe that's where it's at, which is around 86, 88K, like the high 80s Ks. That's really what I think. It's like, hey, we'll find some relief. If not, then it's this area. It has to be, bro. There's no more, like, we can't just come all the way down here. That doesn't make any sense in the short term. We need some type of... we're going to get an oversold scenario where it's just... You can't just sell. Buyers do step in at one point. It never just crashes in just freaking a couple weeks. I mean, or even a couple months. A bear market doesn't last that long. I mean, a bear market isn't that short. So I would expect that we do get a bounce soon, because this is like, what? If you look at 2021, right? Same thing here. Look, you have your chop zones or whatever, right? And guess what? Like, it, you know, it came down and it chopped here. It came down and then it chopped here for a while. Literally, what, 3 months? And that's a good relief pump right here. 33% gain. Or at least you know, if you didn't sell all the way down here, you sell up, you sell here, right? It protects you from going down freaking 70%. This is the issue. You see, chop, and then just straight down. Chop, straight down, right? But the straight downs are brutal. Why? Because there's no support here. Look, from here to here, right? There's only support here, and then a support really right here. So once it broke this, it couldn't get past it. It just falls, bro. And then it, you know, finds that support, but it just falls. So, but the thing is, it didn't just fall from here all the way down. It took a little, you know, a little while. Especially here, we had a few months, 3 months of chop action. That's what I'm expecting to happen in any of these areas. It hasn't happened in none of these areas yet. So the last area that I see is either right here, right? So, you know, which would be this week or next week, this little area, but it's not a strong support. If not, then this is our support area, 81, 80, you know, the low 80s. And if not that, bro, we would be coming back down to the 2021 cycle high. That area, that's a huge support area, which would mean that technically that's, you know, that whole thing would have been the bear market. And it's just not as deep. Usually bear markets are like 70-80%, but also I don't really subscribe to it has to be 60%, 70%, 80%, because guess what? Usually pumps are like crazy, but you know, like everybody agrees that we did not really pump that much this cycle. Like the percentages don't really matter in my opinion as much as structure. Right now, if you go into monthly and you look at structure, you'll see that we're in a bullish structure. It's just easy. It's like we're in boom, boom, boom. A high, a higher high, a higher high, a low, a higher low, so on and so on, right? And it never breaks, right? So when it comes to a low, it doesn't come back and break that, right? If it did, it would look like this. So it would look like boom. See, it would break that, and then now it has to come and retest that. and then that's where you get break of structure, or it continues, but most likely it's like it needs to. Anyways, that's what's happening here. On the monthly, it's never broken the previous cycle high. Right, this is what I'm saying. It's like, hey, Bitcoin could be completely cooked. I don't know, man. I'll show you the charts, and then the news come afterwards as to why it happened. But look, see this pump? It comes all the way down here, right? It came down a lot, bro. Percentage-wise, a lot, 74%. But right here is still higher than that previous cycle high, right here. Okay. Same with this. If I take a line, this is the high of 2017, complete high. Boom. All right there, that blue. We came up, we came all the way down here, and we still didn't break that. Maybe on the wick, we wicked the wicks here, but on the monthly, like, we didn't break that. That's fine. Same with right now. Our line is around right here. Let's turn the wicks back on. Around right here, and then our wick high is around right here. Okay. So we could come down, and then that's a really crazy, strong, powerful support. But like I said, we might not even come down here. We might just find support here in the 70, no, like the 88K, 84K, like 80 something issues. If not, maybe we'll come down and dip here. But this is really strong support, right? This is where, if all those zones that I marked out fail, this is where it should bounce, and then that's where it's like, hey, it bounces, and we're in a bull market again, and we'll make higher highs. 127K Bitcoin or whatever is like a 90% gain, basically a 2x. That's where it's like, okay, what's the next target? So we could find some relief, especially because on the daily, RSI is hitting oversold territory. Means the relative strength index, basically it's like just how powerful a certain move is. It's hitting oversold territory. It's getting down there, which means that, hey, we might get a little bit of a relief pump here. You know what I'm saying? And look, hey, this daily looks like it's turning bullish. It came all the way down here. It looks like it's turning bullish, right there, right down there at the oversold territory. So we could, but then again, it could just be a little flat and then go lower and really find support in these areas. I think these areas would be really good support. I don't know if we can really find it here. This is looking kind of worrisome, especially because the monthly, that is a gigantonormous red candle on the monthly. With that being said, guys, don't take out loans, don't invest more than what you can lose, stay safe.